voice, try and understand it. Make a noise and make it clear. The voice, try and understand it. Yeah.
Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, Lord Josh here, and of course, welcome back to Lamat Symbolism. I've just opened up a group page on Facebook called Lamac Star. That's where people can join, and the idea of the group is this. When you join in that group, you are more than welcome to post any messages, synchronicities, omens, anything that you found that you think is auspicious and relating to Lamat. You send it and post it on that group, and I'll take a look at it, and it might just end up being featured on the Lamat Symbolism series. So it's a growing community. It's full of people that absolutely love the passionate, energetic, lively, stimulating energy of Lamat. Not a lot of people do resonate with this path because it's extremely colorful. It's not light, it's not darkness, it's just this weird, bizarre, it does its own thing. It doesn't conform to typical, conventional, standard bullshit that so many other paths do. And one of the reasons why a lot of people don't get into it is because it amps you up. It gets the heart pumping, it gets the adrenaline going, because Lamat in his purest form, it's the chemicals that release the adrenaline, it's the euphoria, it's the excitement, benign excitement that you get when you do something, you know, exquisite and brilliant in your life, when you're creating a poem, when you're writing a book, when you're composing a song, when you are performing. You get these incredible feelings that rush out, and it makes you feel alive, and it's that intense happiness and euphoria. And Lamat is found in those moments. But as you know, he also appears in many symbols in every facet of life. And that's what we are here to do today, to investigate more and go down the rabbit hole. Of course, that's a very much an intentional phrase of mine, because Lamat manifests as the rabbit. It all connects. Connect the dots to reveal the bigger picture, and that's what Lamat does, and that's what I'm going to do here tonight. So, before I start, I've got one last thing I need to do. Just give me a second. Got to maximize the orange here for more power, for more adrenaline, to feel a deeper connection to the star. Let's get to work. Okay. So, in many areas of the world, Lamat is hidden and he's coded, and he tends to hide in anagrams, in cryptic clues. For example, the Knights of Malta. I was the first person on the internet, the very, very first. Find another one and I challenge you, and I'm waiting. Send it on this group. You won't find it. I did it. I was the pioneer of it. The Knights of Malta. Malta is an anagram of Lamat, and they use the four-directional symbol, which is a variation, kind of a distant cousin of the Lamac Star, and they use a lot of orange and purple. I was the first person on the internet to bring awareness to that fact. Challenge it, you'll lose. It's a fact. That's why they call me the Lamat Man, because I'm so damn good at finding these symbols. So obviously with those, a lot of research is required to dig into it very deeply. But in Mexico, the Lamac Star is found almost everywhere. You don't have to dig, you don't have to search. It's present almost everywhere, and it's very easy to find. And here is the prime example of such a case. So there's this institute, this academy in Mexico called the Lamat Institute. And they use, that's right, this is their logo, and they use an anchor and a four-directional symbol. But what's that made of? What is that right there? Can you see it? What is that made of? That is 4 sextants. But hang on a second. Who else uses a sextant? It's Captain Lamat. He uses a gold sextant. But what are the colours of these on here? Hang on a second, they're gold. Isn't that strange? Well, you're probably thinking, well, it's just a sextant, doesn't mean anything. What's in the centre of the sextant? What's that right there? You know what that is. That's the Lamac Star. Well, that's quite strange, isn't it? Oh, but it's all a coincidence, right? It doesn't mean anything. Well, why is this anchor there then? Anchors obviously relate to nautical, maritime culture, ships, oceans, boats, sailors. Who else was a sailor? Who else captained a ship? Hang on a second, let's go back. Oh, it's Lamat. Oh, that's strange, isn't it? But of course it's a coincidence, right? Of course it is. Let's go back. What does that say? Lamat. So you start to see my point here. How many more hits do I need to get before you people out there wake up and go, holy shit, there's something weird going on? And there is. I don't just mean me, I mean something even weirder than that is going on. As you can see, all of these synchronicities just piling up. Now, one of the criticisms that I've had in the past when I've made these videos is that people will say that I'm reaching and I'm basically looking at symbols that don't really look like the Lamac Star. Okay, let's address that criticism right now, shall we? So if you're not convinced that that's a star right there, which it is, by the way, look it up, Lamac Institute, Mexico, if you want to see it in high resolution. That's the star, but let's just say, no, I'm not convinced. Well, let's go over here. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this on the screen, so I highly advise that you look this up yourself. That right there, this is the building itself in Mexico, and this is the outside of the academy. That is the Mayan hieroglyph perfectly recreated on here. It's literally like they've copied and pasted the original stone carvings and they've put it on this building. That isn't a four-directional symbol. That's not a typical symbol. That is the Lamac Star. That's the very symbol that I talk about on this channel. This might be the very first time that the actual original symbol has made an appearance in this series. And of course you have the words Lamat. But as I say, the coincidence theorists out there, they can't seem to piece the puzzle pieces together. They can't make them fit. They look at everything individually and they never see the bigger picture or the grand vision. Every single omen that I see, I glue it together. And if the puzzle pieces don't fit, they don't fit. It's like anagrams. You cannot make an anagram work if it doesn't work. It either works or it doesn't. It's as simple as that. You can rearrange the letters, but you can't remove the letters and you can't add any. You have to work with what you have. I always work with what I've got, and I produce factual research and factual results by doing what I do. Okay, let's move on here. Now, I want to get into something and you're going to think this is a bit strange, but star is an anagram of Tsar, and Tsar is a Bulgarian rank. And when you type in Tsar on Wikipedia here, I'm not sure if you can really see this, but on the rug of this painting, there's a four-directional Lamac Star on the rug. It's not quite as clear as the original star that I just found in the Institute, but it's very much a four-directional star, and it's got the four dots, so we know it's Lamat. Gets even weirder than that. On here, you can see the original language that this is written in. The word Tsar looks like this in the original language. Do you see that? That's a 4. That's Tsar, anagram of star, 4. 4 Lamat. The 4 chambers of the human heart, the 4 blood types, the 4 legs of most mammals, the 4 wings of most insects. That is the divine number 4 communicating to me that Lamat is present within this rank of Tsar, which is an anagram of star. So now I'm going into the medical field. The American Society of Radiologic Technologists. You might think, what the heck is that? Now, star is an anagram of ASRT. And this is like I said, a medical establishment. And I want to show you, what do they always use for medicine? What's the universal sign? If you go on holiday, like if you're in Spain and you look for a pharmacy, what's the sign that communicates to you? Because symbols have no language barrier. Remember that. Anybody can look at symbols no matter where they come from or what language they speak. They communicate so much more than words ever can. What's the symbol of medicine? the green cross, which is obviously an X as well, and it's a 4-directional logo. It relates to Lamat. You've got the anagram of ASRT, American Society of Radiologic Technologists. Amazing, right? So it gets even deeper than that. I want to go into something else here now, which I think people at first might think, oh, I'm not sure about that. But let me show you this. So in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and I'm not the biggest movie buff, so this is where my knowledge is severely lacking. I need to watch more films. I know I've already covered one. I covered The Invitation, where it's that cult that takes over Hollywood, and they actually use the Lamat Star for their cult. The star's everywhere in that movie. I've already covered that. Please check it out. The star is absolutely everywhere in the film. In Rise of the Planet of the Apes, what's this to you? What's that? What's that right there? That is the Lamac Star. But you're probably thinking, well, it's just a film, Lord Josh. You know, they just throw shit in. Nobody designs this, right? There's no such thing as a director, a writer, a set designer, a researcher. People just throw all sorts of random shit and hope that it sticks. Like a dart player, right? Dart players don't play darts in the light. They play them in the dark and hope that they'll hit the board. Bullshit. Movie makers know exactly what they're doing, and this is conveying a message. And I want to end on this note. This is why I don't want anybody to feel disempowered. I want you to remain optimistic about the future, because this is conveying a true feeling of empowerment right here. So I did a bit of research on this symbol, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And they say on the wiki page, the diamond pattern, which it's not a diamond, but maybe the person doesn't know this, on the window of Caesar's room eventually became his personal emblem and his symbol of hope. That's right, symbol of hope. That's what Lamat is. The Lamac Star in its purest essence. Even if 1 million companies hijack the star and try to use it for nefarious means, which, by the way, not all of them are doing. A lot of the companies are just using it because it relates to abundance, and it can increase the chances of you being successful and drawing customers in. There's nothing nefarious or evil about that. It's just a way of making money and keeping your profits going, and I support that all the way. But we are interested in something deeper than just making money and business. To me, this is a spiritual symbol. It's one that drives me in my life, and I can feel it as I speak to you, the adrenaline releasing and developing a closer connection to Lamat. But to most companies, it's just all about making bank. Here's a fabulous example right here of Subaru using the Lamat Star. I mean, look at that. It's perfect right there, the Lamat Star. And again, I'm not saying this shouldn't be done. I actually enjoy it when companies use it, because it makes me think, oh, you know about it too? Okay, it's kind of like a nod. Those of us who are in the know tend to see it absolutely everywhere, even though next to nobody has heard of Lamat. You ask a random person in the street, I dare you, you go up to somebody and you say to them, what is Lamat? I bet you could speak to 10,000 people, and I bet not one of them would know. Now, if you go to Mexico, it's a different story. But here in England and in America, and certainly in China, nobody would have a clue what Lamat is. And yet, this symbol and variations of it are absolutely everywhere. Here in Britain, the pavements in urbanized city areas often have symbolism and patterns on the floor. And the Lamat Star is everywhere in Derby city centre. I should make a video when COVID is finally pissed off. I should make a video and actually go in person to Derby and look at the symbolism on the streets. Take it out of the office and go to the streets and do a video there. I mean, if I'm dressed like this, I'm probably going to give a lot of people a heart attack, but that's all right. I'm willing to accept that. It's collateral damage after all, to bring Lamat what he deserves, to bring him some more exposure. But most people are somewhat, maybe subconsciously, they've seen it and they're somewhat aware of it because it pops up absolutely everywhere. But nobody's really heard of its true name. When you know something's true name, that's when you can use it for your advantage. You can get power from it when you know its true name. So I want you to remain hopeful, just like Caesar, with the symbol of hope. There it is once again. People out there will try to take away your orange lightning. They'll try to destroy your spark. They'll try to demoralize you, degrade you. They'll do whatever they can to shut you up and make you docile and sedate you and calm your raging, wonderful, wild mind. And they'll do that in the guise and the facade of making you better, when all it does is tame you and keep you dumb. Don't ask any questions, watch TV, shut up. And I'm not just talking about authorities, I'm not talking about the government or anything like that. I'm talking about the people that you associate with, the people you call your friends, your so-called friends. My God, when you walk this path, you realize who your true friends are. And you probably think, oh, my friends wouldn't do that. There's a lot of people out there that betray you because you found something in your life that is absolutely wonderful and you defend it and you stick by it. And I would urge you to continue on, whatever that might be. It might not be Lamat, it might be something else. Do not compromise your authenticity to suit others. Never conform to the expectations of others, and always do what you feel is right within here. That's why I said be hopeful and use Lamat as a symbol of hope. You've got nothing to worry about. It will work out right in the end, I guarantee it. So thank you for watching this, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to take off my gloves now, and I'll see you soon for more Lamat Star symbolism. Take care.